Hello, everybody. My name is Kelly Ham, and I'm a real estate broker working for John L. Scott in Kitsap County, Washington. And today I'm doing a lender interview with Lee Nguyen from Veterans Lending Group.
Howdy, how you doing?
Hi, welcome. So Lee has this really amazing diagram that discusses the VA buyer, if they're a renter versus a buyer. And it's drastic the amount of money it costs them to not only get into a rental, but also how much they're not making when they do move out of the rental,
Right.
and how much you are making when you are an owner and sell.
Yeah.
So
The numbers are wild.
That.
So imagine you're looking for a place to rent. Let's say it's $1,500. Now it's probably rent like 2 years ago, but still. So you're looking for a place, $1,500 a month. That's your budget. You found a place. In order to move your stuff into that unit, you got to pay for first month's, last month's, security deposit. Let's say you got little fur babies running around. Pet deposit, and then if you move in on the 16th, what happens 15 days later? You are awarded to pay more rent.
Yes.
So between all those things, let's say it's $500 for a pet deposit, you have 4 installments of $1,500 a month. That's about what, $6,500? That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
In some cases, that $6,500 you could have put toward buying a new house, like for closing costs and things like that. Either it pays for either about 80 to 100% of your closing cost. So you could just buy a house instead. Okay, so now that you're in the rent, you've spent $6,500. Now you're going to move in 3 years, right? So if you add up all that money as well as every month you're spending toward rent, keep in mind rent is 100% interest because none of that money is going towards you at all.
Right.
That's about $55,500 for the next 3 years. This assumes you never move every year. And this doesn't assume rent doesn't go up every year, every time you renew your lease. So it's at least $55,500. If you bought a house for the same amount of payment, you would have probably made $20,000 or $30,000 after 3 years. So that's a $70,000 swing, guys. It's
Right.
a huge amount, right?
Right.
You went from being negative, severely negative, to making money for just living somewhere.
Right.
I have a client right now. They lived in the house for the last 2 years, and they're about to sell their house. They're gonna make $35,000.
Oh yeah.
And just to give you guys an idea, this guy was an E3, so relatively lower junior enlisted guy, and they were able to afford a $315,000 house when they first started. 2 years later, he's gonna move to Mobile, Alabama. He's gonna sell his house and make like $35,000, and he's here in Washington. He's gonna buy in Mobile, Alabama, probably a lower purchase price, and buy a bigger house.
Right.
They're gonna buy like a 2,000 square foot house.
Oh yeah.
Just the two of them. It's just
Yeah.
they don't have any kids. It's just him and her, and that's
Right.
it. And they've just made so many great financial decisions by starting with buying a house.
Exactly. I have a client, the military client, and I sold him his house a couple years ago. And in 1 year's time, he called me up and said, I have to move back east to Connecticut. And I was like, okay. 1 year. And this was a couple years ago, so the
Sure.
market wasn't quite as crazy as it is now, but it was still good. And I said, okay, well, you're going to keep it as a rental, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I want to sell it. And I'm like, oh,
We'll see.
it costs some money to sell. I don't know that you're
Yeah.
not going to be underwater if
Yeah.
you do that. I mean, the market's been good, but in any case, we managed to get 10% of a raise from what he purchased in 1 year,
Yeah.
and we managed to sell it with him, I think, walking with $200.
That's still not bad.
But he didn't lose.
Yeah.
Well, now I just got a call from him last week, and he's moving back and is ready to buy again.
Jeez.
And doggone it, the house he sold is just pinned at 380, 100,000 above.
Wow.
Had he kept it,
Yeah.
like I said, as a rental,
He would've been good.
he would now be pocketing $100,000.
Isn't that crazy? So it's
listen to your brokers.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. It's just
Yeah.
being as professionals as we are, it's just
Yeah.
there's a lot of insight that we have that could
Right.
we're here to help you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here to help you. I mean, I would rather have forfeited that sale with him and seen him make that $100,000 a year later than how it went down. But,
Yeah, and a house, having a mortgage on a house is like a forced savings account.
Yes.
Especially if you live in it. So
Yes.
Imagine within your mortgage payment, there's principal and interest, right? Well, the payment that goes to a principal pays down your mortgage, but that has value, right? So all you're really down is just paying down a debt, and as you pay down this debt, you increase your savings because that's effectively called equity, right?
Yes.
So as you pay it down, then you sell it, and you made money. That's essentially an investment. Now, if you have someone else paying for that investment, you now have an asset, and someone else is paying for your piggy bank essentially.
Yes.
And if you're in a really solid position, you could be making money off of that asset.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you make $200 or $300, may say you make $200 or $300 a month. Someone's paying your principal down. What could be a better asset?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if you rent to somebody you trust.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the big thing. You know,
Yeah.
it is a house that you're investing, and you're having other people paying that rent. So.
I mean, we've all heard, horror stories about renters
That's
and
true.
damaging your property. But if you have the stomach for it,
Yeah.
and if you're brave, you can also get rich
Oh, absolutely.
by owning rentals.
I mean, I've always had a property manager, so that's
Yeah.
for the duplex I have in Bremerton. I have a property manager. I haven't seen that place in like 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Even
so-
though it's here?
Yeah, even though it's here, I'm like, you know what? I'm
I
good.
don't want to know what's happening. I
I'm
don't
good.
want to
I'm
know.
good. It was an investment. I'm good.
As long as I don't get a scary phone call, I'm okay.
It's something. I have mailbox money every month. I'm good.
Yeah.
I told them, if there's anything that needs to be fixed.
Mailbox
please-
money. I like that.
So I told.
Well, investing in real estate is definitely a way to get rich.
Absolutely, it's a slow process, and just
Yeah.
like anything, real investing is a slow process.
Yeah.
So it just takes time.
Yeah.
But you'll definitely see the fruits of your labor
Absolutely.
within 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah, oh, absolutely,
Easily.
especially in the market we're experiencing
absolutely.
right now.
It's wild.
Yeah.